Hello, I'm Frost, and welcome to my in-depth series on the game Age of Wonders Planetfall. In these in-depth episodes, I cover the strategies and tactics for a particular faction and a particular secret tech. And with this one, I am going to be going with the Vanguard with the Xenoplague. And this is episode 1. Generally, there's 1 to 3 to 4 episodes. So yeah, generally about 3 or 4 episodes. And I generally try to also cut out all of the unnecessary bits to try and keep it contact, so it's just full of information. Now, let's get started. Okay, so we're on the menu screen and we're going to go for new planet, which is a new scenario. And we're just going to keep everything as default, as this is what I've been doing with all of my in-depth series, so that way it provides a point of reference. So we're just going to go for the default Imperial world. All the settings are at default. What I will do though is I'm going to select my own custom commander, and we're going to go in here and we're going to pick Vanessa Guardia. And she's looking very stern, this lady, but I do love her coat. She's got a great coat. And I went for green, obviously, because Xenoplague and all that. So we're going to go into customize, and you can see Vanguard and Xenoplague. And then in terms of perks, I've gone for martial tradition, so that I can get bonuses to my weapons research, and that I also get ruthless killer. And that returns an action point every time my hero kills an enemy. And that's a bonus that applies all the way through the game, so that's really good to have. Now, because that takes 2 points, it means I've had to go for the Vanguard basic equipment. But what I have done, though, is I've also gone for the military detachment, which gives me a larger starting army. And then that way I generally get 2 scouts from the very first turn, which allows me to check out the territory as quick as possible. So that's everything, and I think we're ready to go. Okay, so the random generator has done its thing, and we have a situation where we have 43% water and 57% land. So either we're going to get lots of islands, or we're going to get one very small continent. So either way, it's going to pack us all in together, or it's going to make it very difficult to expand. So that should be quite an interesting scenario. And what we're going to do is we're going to start the game and we're going to land on the planet and see what we have. Here we go, we're going in. Straight away I'm starting in a fairly forested area, although there's some mountains in the area, which is not good. It's always very difficult to expand when you've got kind of mountains around. Straight away I can see I've got a shoreline along the south here, then I've got these mountains to the side. So I've only got kind of one way out. Which is good for protection, but it's not good if I'm going to be using this as my primary production facility. So because it's so enclosed, and I want a military base where I can access the rest of my colony very easily, I'm probably just going to set this up straight away as a bio farm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get to turn 1, and then we're just going to have a look at the research and where I'm going to go in terms of research. Right, so we've completed turn 1, and I've started sending out my owls, and already you can see that it appears that I'm on the southeast of some kind of a continent. I found some cosmite there, which is going to be great to get some mods early on in the game. My other owl is then heading along this other coastline. I can see that we've also got a site there that we could potentially do as well. I sent in Vanessa to go and just take out a quick little site there, and immediately I was able to upgrade my commander. And if we go to the skill points, you can see that I just applied them straight away to Vitality and Range Specialist. At this point, you don't need any bonuses to anybody else. You just want to keep your hero alive, or your commander alive. So obviously Vitality is important, and we want that rifle to be able to do some damage. So all good there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on our research. So society research, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to research the doctrines, which is this one, Frontier Policies. As you can see, I have a free doctrine slot. Now, we have a choice of 2. We've got Frontier Survival, which gives us more food, which gives us faster growth. Or we have Colony Militia, which gives us better production. Now, this early in the game, I'm going to focus on the food. So I'm going to train this up. So let's just do the research to start that. And then once that's researched, I will then implement that as my first doctrine. And then once my colony is more established, then I will switch over to production when it comes time to building armies and growing my colonies. So the other thing as well is you get this thing called a combat simulation center, which is specific to the Vanguard. And what it does is it gives your units experience points when they're sitting around the colony. And that is really, really handy for kind of building up experience on your troops without having to commit them to battle. So you can start building up quite powerful armies that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to train up frontier policies first, then frontier facilities, so I can get this colonizer, so I can get a second colony down as quickly as possible. Obviously, you know, we've got that bonus with the cosmite that's coming as well, which is handy. And then I will do area surveillance so that I can get operation effectiveness, so I can then use my tactical operations, which brings us on to the military. So the military, we've got nanite support, which gives us the nanite injectors, which gives us a +1 armor, which is great, and also gives us healing. And then we've got the nanite support station, which is even more healing, and we get the combat assist system. So lots of defense stuff, and that will be the first one that I train up. And then I will do the other two base ones as well. Alpha Strain, which is the Xenoplague one, is good because this mod gives us +10 vitality, which is good for surviving early on with our hero, as we don't have the hero resurrection protocol until much later on. So that's about that for that. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and move probably about 10 to 12 turns, get all the basic stuff established, and then we're going to catch up then. We've reached turn 8, and I've been a little bit of a busy bunny. So first of all, I have managed to annex another sector, which had a food bonus on it as well, which was great. And then I'm making my way down with my armies right now, my army should I say, to take this resource node so that I get a bonus for energy, as energy is going to be something I'm going to be a little bit short of to begin with. Although there is a colony right here, which I will be able to hopefully take over from the autonomous at some point, which has an energy bonus. So that's great. I have found the Vanguard colony that was near me called Warrington, and I have enough influence points to be able to grab that. So I'm going to take my little scout here and convince these people to join us. And we are going to turn this into a colony, as we have some great bonuses around here. We've got a cosmite one here. We have another laboratory over here. We have a food bonus right next to it. And also we have a teleport, and this teleport literally just goes a little bit over to the side, which is on the other side. So I'm going to probably be building upwards, the reason why, or north should I say, because I've already met the Kirko. The Kirko are right here. You can see they've got a little green line around them. And as you can see, my my status is already at -225. My usual scenario for me is people don't like me, and we've started off on a bad footing, and I've used up all my influence in order to get that colony. So after that, I'll have to pay a few compliments, I think, to Heniki, just to keep him on board for a little while. So I've been doing some investigating. I've got a long shoreline across the south here, which is going to keep me fairly well protected. And then I am training up. My frontier facilities is done, and I'm now doing area surveillance, which means that I can build a colonizer, and it's only going to take 10 cosmite. So we're going to produce that, and we're going to move it above the combat simulation center, as that's not critical right now. I really need this colonizer in place, as I have this colony in Warrington. So I'm thinking that I can probably, oops, let me zoom back out again. I'm probably going to build right here in Armor District, as that will give me bonuses, a production bonus there. I get a research bonus from this resource node, and also then I can potentially even creep out and get this cosmite as well, which would be great. So there's a lot of stuff around that is really beneficial to me. So Warrington can expand into this whole area around there, and then Icton will be there. So I'm going to focus, I think, on energy for Warrington, and then this is going to be my production facility, which puts me fairly close to the Kirko as well. In case we decide to engage them early, I'll be producing my armies on the colony that's nearest to them. So that's pretty much where we're at. I've got now my nanite support, my alpha strain and perception. So what I will probably do is, if I can find my hero, there we go. I'm going to start giving us some mods. So we're going to give her the nanite injectors, and also the Xenoplague parasites. And yeah, that's all we can do right now. And then once that last little bit of training comes in, which is next turn, then I will add the, I think it was either the flechettes or the, let's have a quick look. It was the flechettes. So I'll be able to add those on and do a status effect as well. So all good on that front. So everything is progressing nicely. And I'm just going to continue exploring, continue expanding a little bit. And then once we get to a point of interest, we'll catch up again. Now that I've made it to turn 13, I think it's a good time for a quick little update. So from the point of view of colonies, it's all going very well. So Icton now has annexed 2 sectors. And what I've done is I picked Rising Heights so that my colonizer, which is going to colonize on the next turn, will be directly linked through Rising Heights. So what I'm trying to do is actually make sure that I got a road network between all my colonies. So with Warrington, when I expanded Warrington, I went to Shortcake Stacks. And as you can see, it's now built a road between the 2 colonies. So this is going to allow me to move quickly throughout my colonies, which is kind of really important, especially early game when you haven't got transit infrastructure. Then I've recruited a hero. And as there was a small site here, I've just put him there for the time being. I then have, I think, what is a spawner nest here, if I remember correctly, from when my little scout went over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over with Vanessa and my lone trooper here. We're going to move over. We're going to probably just pick up that stash and then deal with this spawner nest, as it's very close to home. Talking of that, with the possibility of attacks from spawners, I'm making sure that I've got things like my standard military infrastructure and my defense turrets so that I can get my colony militia power up to at least kind of 800. And I've done the same with Warrington. As you can see now, I'm training up the repeated defense turrets. And then this colony is going to be my energy colony, as we discussed. And so that's why I picked this sector here. And then the new one that's going to be in Armor District is going to be my production colony. And I found there's this site here, which is a heavy weapons factory, which is going to give you bonuses for production, which is really handy. It's right next door to Armor District. So as soon as I have operational effectiveness, which is still 3 turns away, then I may try and double back with my heroes and try and do this exploration site so that I can acquire it as early as possible and then annex that sector, which will then continue keeping all of my colonies kind of in a blob together. So everything's looking pretty good to start with, and I'm going to keep on going for the time being. And then I think as well we'll get to a point, especially once I've got the operational effectiveness, we'll try and do a bit of manual combat so you can see how I use the Vanguard in combat. All right, catch up with you in a minute. So we're at turn 25 and things are pretty quiet. I've not come across any other factions yet except the Kirko that we met earlier. So I've been busy kind of just expanding and setting up my colonies. So as you can see, I've got Icton here. I then had Warrington and then I built Dubois. So I've got 3 colonies in place already. And I now have a colonizer building as we speak to build my 4th colony. And I'm thinking of going across to the east because I can see here there's a colony right here called Izixil, which is the Kirko. So I don't want to head west. I would rather make sure that I'm expanding where I'm not going to run out of room. And so I'm going to go over here to the east. I'm probably going to pop that in rugged terrain because I can see there's a Cosmite there that I can take, although I will have to get rid of the hazard, which we'll come on to in the training in a sec. But one of the good things is that if we look at my doctrines, I made sure that I got the emissary, so I got more influence from quests. And the reason why I did that is because as a consequence of that, I was able to free up this Cosmite here and also free up this bonus that I'm going to get here, which is a level 3 research bonus. So when Warrington expands next, I can then take that over and get another boost to my research, which is great. I also got another area down here which I release, another resource node, which is also another research bonus. And I got all of this by just using my influence and asking people to move out. So that's all good. I'm still haven't prioritized my colonies as yet. I'm just keeping them standard, keeping them pretty level, doing a bit of everything. And just trying to get myself set up. So I've got 3 heroes now. So I've got still, obviously, Vanessa, who's my commander, and then I've got 2 more heroes. I've got both of them in vehicles at the moment. So they've both got piloting 5. And, oops, make sure I don't click on that. There we go. And I'm going to split them up in a minute. So I'm going to start building more units and then split them off into 3 separate armies so that I can then get them doing different sites at the same time. Just so I can clear out all these sites as quickly as possible so that I can then expand and then I can work on fighting. So really not much to report on at the moment. The main thing is getting a really solid base. And so therefore, I mean, because my units are so strong right now, I don't think I can get there in one go. No, not quite. But my armies are so strong, I'm just doing auto combat at this stage to take out these things, which is why it makes more sense for me to split them up into individual armies. And then that way I'll get some manual combat in, and then also I will be able to do more sites. So we're going to move forwards, and then we're going to catch up in a little while, and then things should start heating up once we get to about turn 35 to 40. We're now at turn 31, and I'm in a position now where I can annex another sector for Autumnville. And what is really handy is in my society research, which we'll go to here, I've completed environmental conditioning, which means I've got the hazard removal, which is going to come in really, really handy. So I kind of moved forwards and did colony infrastructure and environmental conditioning before I did the research development and the energy development, as the cosmite manufacture and the hazard removal are kind of more important for me. And then I'm going back to research development 1 after I've done this quest, which is the sonic pest repellent device. So what it means is that I can take my little worker bee here and we can go up to this Veil of Tranquility and we can remove the hazard. Now that's going to take 3 turns, but in those 3 turns I'm also going to negotiate to get this cosmite area and also negotiate to get the resource node, which gives me extra research bonus. So that is looking really, really good there. So that's going to be a great little research area for me. And now that I've done that, I also need to do, I've just done Destroy Mutation. So that ties in with my doctrine that I've got up here, which is Biomatter Repurposing, which gives me a better chance of upgrading my pustules into destroyers. So obviously I need that skill to be able to get the destroyers. So that's now been done. And I am now going to train up photon acceleration so I can get the hard light module, which gives me a 20% bonus on laser weapons and also does an extra stagger. And this is really important, especially for the tanks and for the vehicles that you get, the assault bikes that you get with the Vanguard, which are laser weapons as well. So that's going to come in really, really handy. And then the last thing that's left for me to do, I better started that off. There we go, let's make sure we're researching that. Good, that's done. Is now I need to get rid of this spawner nest, and my army's not looking too healthy. So what we're going to do, I've got regenerative infections, which heals my armies and gives them a resistance to status effects as well. So we're going to do that. I'm going to launch that, pop that on there. And then we're going to go in and we're going to try and take these guys out. Now, it says a low-risk battle. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. It's 1100 to 900, so it's still pretty close. And these guys do a lot of parasitic damage, and I'm especially concerned about the Mega Cell. I've got to keep her at range because she can cause me all kinds of issues. So, also this big dude here, I'm sure he's got something called hyperaggression, which is going to make them even more dangerous. So what I am probably going to do is I'm going to hold back. So I'm going to pop these guys under cover because I'm concerned about my troopers. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the pustules. We're going to keep them over here for now. I'm going to move the pug back a little bit. And I'm not going to use my blur cloud just yet because I'm not quite sure who I'm going to want to use it on. And then we are just going to literally hold back and stay in defensive mode. We're going to move, might as well move him under cover. There we go. So we got the chance to use our tactical operations on them as they move forward. Yeah, there we go. So they're just all sitting tight. So that is great because that means now I can use probably my shredder bomb, which is 1 hex. There we go. So we're going to use the shredder bomb and I'm going to be able to land it on all of them and get hopefully bleeding. Yeah, so one of them's bleeding. I think it was the pustules possibly. But we did some damage. So that's fine. So we're just going to hold tight for the time being. I can play the waiting game. So should we move forwards? No, let's just put everything in... put these guys in Overwatch. Sorry, there we go. I just want to wear these guys down before I have to go into battle. There we go. Right, so let's end the turn and see if they decide to move this time. There goes the hyper aggression. Right, so they're using up all their healing abilities and now they're starting to move forwards. There we go. So that's good. I wanted them to come to me so that they're all committed, and we've got some bleeding going on there as well. So the Mega Cell's not looking too healthy. So what we're going to probably do is that jumps to 2 hexes, but I don't think the parasitic infection is going to... Yeah, these guys can't be affected. The Mega Cell can be affected. And how many? That's using 2. And the laser strike uses 2, and that deals 25 damage. This deals 15. Yeah, we're going to do the laser strike, and we're just going to try and take out this Mega Cell nice and early. Alright, so we should hopefully... If I can move to here with my troopers. There we go. Good. Alright, so now we've got to be careful of these little rabid piglets, as these guys... I'm not getting some really... I'm getting some awful... Okay, they're going to get an Overwatch. These guys are not easy to hit. So let's come right out and just have a look. Yeah, 15%. That's pretty awful. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them a parasitic infection with my plague pods. And there we go. Now our bonuses are much better now that they've been staggered. Alright, so now can we still... What bonus have we got? 30%. Let's go forwards. There we go, 60%.
Enemy annihilated.
Good. Okay, so they're taken care of. We're going to move our pustules forwards. And now we are going to use the blur. Let's move forwards. We're going to use the blur on the troopers, as they're my weaker unit. All right, let's end the turn. Oh, hang on, have I got anybody that can still move? Oh, I've got my pustules. So yeah, we'll just put those in defense mode. And off we go from there. Right, there's still some pustules right at the back there that haven't moved. Oh, here they come. Okay, they're bleeding as well, so that's handy. Right, so I only have one operation left, which is my combat assist. And I'm trying to decide who's going to need it the most. I don't know at this stage, so I will wait and play it by ear. So, 25%. And do I get a bonus for him being in cover with this guy? I can't remember. Okay, what we're going to do then... We're just going to go all in. In fact, if I use the... oh, wrong one. Right, let's do the ambush leap. And stagger them. And then we're going to come all the way forwards. And we're going to use the wide beam. There we go. And we've got some burning, so we've got some status effects going on. These guys are going to take over the pustules, if they can actually hit them. Wow, that was pretty appalling. So luckily our pug is here to repair them if necessary. So what we'll do is we'll put the pug behind, and then have we got range? Yeah, we've got range. It's a 5% chance, but oh, we got a hit. That's good. And then we're going to run this bike forwards all the way up to here, and we're going to do another wide ranging. Okay, the problem is there I'm hitting my own units, so we'll do a focused one instead. We're going to focus on these guys first, try and get these guys down. Right, and now I've got my one operation for my combat assist. And I'm guessing I'm probably going to put it on this guy. He's got 63 health, 70. You know what? Let's try and keep everybody alive. Let's use it on the pustules. It's a little bit different. Okay. End turn.
Unit has
Went
fallen.
for the pustules, and pustules done. Oh well, it's worth a try. I did try and save them. But we're in a pretty strong position now because I can come in with these guys. Let's go to here. And we're going to try and take out these pustules before they're causing any more problems. I'm going to move the pug forwards. I haven't got a line of sight. So what we'll do is we're going to get an overwatch on these, but I'm going to take the overwatch and then I can then use my pug to heal. These guys can take out. Okay, hopefully they could take
Enemy
out these
down.
pustules finally. There we go. So we still got 2 units here. So let's come in, point blank range. I'm going to damage one of my units as well, but I'm going to do that just for the benefit of doing damage to both of those guys. Alright, so end turn. He's going to try and flank. They're both going to try and flank. Okay, these pustules will not go away. So I need to really focus. Can I move these guys? No, that he's under overwatch. So okay, at least now it means I can move out my pug. And my pug's no longer on overwatch, so let's move him back. And let's put a blur on the troopers again. And we need to clear these guys out so that we can get the bikes through. So let's it's 1, it's 2, and let's move the bike round.
Enemy down.
Okay, I've got a feeling they're going to be regenerated again. Okay, so that was a good move using the blur cloud on the troopers. Okay, so my troopers are in a bad way. I don't think I can heal them either. So I have got a mending rig. That's going to cause an overwatch. Right, so I'm going to take damage if I go through here. I'm going to end up being poisoned. So we're going to move back to here. I'm going to try and take out these guys. Right, hopefully. No, not quite enough. Can I do it with my troopers as well?
Enemy eliminated.
Okay, and that leaves my pug. And I'm going to bring my pug forwards and hoping my troopers are not going to be affected. So let's just do that. Right, let's just take a shot. And hoping now the big creature, whatever it's called, the Plague Lord, is going to attack somebody other than my troopers. Right, okay, so that's good. Now it's a case of trying to flank whilst not going in these areas that are going to poison. Okay, now I'll bring this one round to this side. There we go. And almost there. So, can my trooper do it? Yeah. There we go. So, I lost some pustules.
They never
And I
stood a
think
chance.
that was it. It was a little bit of a close call with the trooper. But with the blur cloud, I managed to save him. But it looks like I won a pustule to replace it. There we go. So, one pustule replaced another one. So, I came out even Stevens with that. And I got a venom rifle, which is one of my favourite weapons. Excellent. So, we're going to take that. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a few more turns. And then we're going to wrap up so that we can move on to episode 2 later. So, let me just get a few more things in place. And I'll catch up with you in a minute. Right, so we've made it to turn 38. And this seems like a good time to wrap up episode 1. So I'm going to show you where I'm at and why I think it's a good time to wrap it up now. So I have 4 colonies already. I have Icton, I have Ortonville, I have De Boer, and I have Warrington. And I am now building another colonizer. And I'm going to take this colonizer and I'm going to go across to Mirage Desert and set it up there. And then that way I've got everything adjoining. And that's all going to work out very well for me because I'm also training up accelerated force deployment, and in 4 turns I'll have transit infrastructure, which doubles the speed at which I can move around my colonies. So over to the west, I still have what's his name, Haneke. So I have a non-aggression pact for Haneke at the moment, although I could do with keeping him sweet. So let's just pay him a quick little compliment. There we go. And then I also bumped into Robin, and Robin is also Vanguard, and Robin is over to the east. But here we go, you can just see her bordered there on artificial mount. The good thing though is that we've got a mountain range between us. So that keeps me very well protected at this stage. Now obviously if it comes to attacking, then that means going over the top of this mountain range. But for now, I'm in a really, really strong position. I have loads of energy. And my fortifications are good as well. I've got maximum on Warrington. I've got, I think, maximum here as well. Oh, no, that's coming in a couple of turns. And the same with Dubois. I'm sort of 1 away from the top. So normally there's a lot of cost involved in that, in energy cost, but I'm still managing to handle it. So that's good. And when I set up in Mirage Desert, I will probably set up for energy, I would imagine. Because on the research front, I am well sorted, especially also with Cosmite, because I kind of got this Cosmite bonus here, and I got another one somewhere else that I remember. Somewhere I found a Cosmite. Can't find it. Oh, there it is, up here. There we go. So I got another one here. So I'm getting these Cosmite bonuses as well, which is great because it's given me the opportunity to mod all my armies. Now, my commander, you can see, does 30 damage with the sniper, which is brilliant. And that's by using this hard light module, which I mentioned earlier. I've got great tank as well, so I reflect 25% of the damage back to its source with this mod that I got from doing one of the sites. So that's great. You can see all my units are modded. So my destroyer, which was a pustule that grew from the Xenoplague, is all modded with Xenoplague mods. Then, once again, incinerator module, I could have hopefully at some point boost that up to the hard light module, and armor, and once again I've got plague pods, and you can see all my units have got some kind of a mod on them at this stage. So this is really important because I'm going to need to start doing some sites, like for example down here there's 3 sites I could see. There's a missile silo, which will be handy to take once I take that sector. I got a peace and justice installation, which is a tier 5 research bonus, and I've also got a food and production bonus there as well. So I need to go in with the 1 army to take those on, and so I need that army to be as strong as possible. At the moment I've got 1,200. I need that to be close to 2,000 to be really comfortable. But the main thing is that I'm pretty much set up there. In terms of training up all my military skills, I've done tiers 1, 2, and 3. And most of 4. I'm doing rapid maneuverability right now. I don't generally use the Valkyries that much. I never use the jetpacks. I don't find them that useful as a mod. I think it's better to have a weapon mod. but the Valkyries are there. They're a tactical operation, so I will take it. One thing I will do, though, while I think about it, is
Operations primed and
down
ready.
here, I have my Frontier Survival. If you remember, right at the very beginning, I used that to get plus 15 food in my colonies. And as you can see, it worked. My colonies have grown substantially in these turns. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to abort that. And then I'm going to replace it now with the colony militia. Because production costs of all units reduced by 10% in terms of production costs. But also, in addition, the production cost is further reduced by an extra 5% for each colony militia barracks or defense buildings. And most of my colonies have those. So that is really worth me doing. So I'm going to prime that. And that's going to help me then when it comes to building up armies so that I can go on the offensive. So that's pretty much where I'm at the moment. My armies are split up all over the place. I've got one here that I'm going to take and try and see if I could take these sites here. Once again, there's a production bonus there. And as you know, De Boer is my production house. So I'm going to do that. I got to annex another sector, but I was going to annex this as a production sector, but I've already got one. I can only have 2 max. And I would rather get this one, which is a tier 4 bonus. So I'm undecided as to what I'm going to do with that. And I will probably leave it till we get to episode 2. And that wraps it up for this episode. I hope you found that useful. And hopefully you'll stick around for episode 2. Give me a like if you enjoyed this. You can dislike as well. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of my next videos. Alright, take care. See you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.